Hola, aquí estamos otra vez. Look at me this time. I've traveled across the Atlantic and here I am in San Francisco. At least I think it is. San Francisco being Spanish, of course, for St. Francis, San Francisco, because a lot of the people who settled in that area of the States were Spanish speakers. You'll see lots of Spanish places in the southwest coast of America. Anyway, let's get to where we would need to be. So today's lesson is going to be a bit of a recap, first of all, on last week. And then I'm just going to give you a couple of mini things to do, really, based on moving forward. But the most important thing we can do right now is not move forward, but there we are. Look back really carefully over last week's lesson. So first of all, where are the celebrations? Hooray! So great return rate. There's just one or two of you that Mr. Sherricks has been in touch with, who we've not heard from. So he's been in touch with you just to check that you're all okay and that everybody's well and so on, because we miss you. But apart from that, the rest of you are all up to date, get on with your work. One or two of you not managed to email it or upload, but I know I've been in touch with your parents, but do your best, keep trying, because this is something that you really, really need to carry on with now. We really need to keep moving over the next few weeks. We can't afford to slow down your learning. And, you know, this is going to be happening now until the summer holidays and maybe even for a little bit afterwards. So we've got to make sure that we're on it. All right. So that's for number one, great return rate, really pleased. Great use of present tense. I can see conjugating the verbs really well. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Taking off the last two letters and adding the new ones to the end. That's great, all right? And the preterite, that new ending, I was really pleased with how you used that. That's the one that looked like that. I'm guessing that you haven't learned those endings yet, but keep going back. A, aste, o, amos, astes, aron. Some of you will be saying, you know, how do I get higher grades? If you've learned these off by heart, then it's going to make everything else so much easier. So the past tense, the preterite, not the imperfect, right? The preterite, the did, I did go, I did do, I did see. There's the endings for the past tense. Remember your accents as well. Okay, there's one there, one there, one there, one there. Okay, I'm coming to that now. So, great use of present, great use of past. So moving on, what's the even better if? Right, first of all, today I'm going to tell you that accents matter. So when you are writing about the past tense in Spanish, hablé español con mi profesora, that's a bad example. Hablé con mis amigos. Okay, you can see mine's gone red already because my computer knows I'm speaking in Spanish. But what I would do if I was you is I'd delete that E. There's a key on your keyboard that says Alt-Gr, like that. Okay, and you hold that down and you press the E, and look what happens. Hablé con mis amigos. What else did I do? I swam. So nadar is to swim in the sea, in el mar. And the past tense will be nadé, except what if it wasn't me? What if it was my brother? What was the ending for he? He aste o. He swam. Hold down alt. Grr. Don't know what that stands for. You probably do. I haven't got a clue. Right, hold it down. Nad. He swam. Nado in mar. Accents matter. The good thing about, I know it's a pain, but the good thing about you finding out how to type it in is that you have to think about it. And the more you think about it, the more you embed that in your mind, and soon it becomes second nature. Okay, so accents matter. That's first one from today, first learning point from last week. Second learning point is learn the irregular verbs off by heart. Okay, so there are probably about, and again, this is grades 7, 8, and 9 eventually, but not for this verb I'm doing today. This is grades 4, 5, and 6. If you can learn all the irregular verbs off by heart, you're definitely a grade 9. But if you can learn just ir off by heart. That's around grade 4 and 5. It's one of the most important verbs. So in the present tense, you know this. Remember, it's I, you, he, we, you, they. So I go, you go, he goes, we go, you go, they go. It's my little song, my chance to sing a song. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. I go, you go, he goes, we go, you go, they go. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Sing along with me if you want. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. You won't be doing it if you're in class. Vais, van. Do it in your head if you don't want to do it out loud. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. I go, you go, he goes, we go, yous go, they go. Okay? Learn it off by heart. Honestly, it's much easier for you to learn off by heart right now. Wait till you're my age. Trying to learn Norwegian. Not working at all. I've got as far as hello, my name is. Okay, the preterite is the did do. So I did go is we say I went. I went, you went, he went. We went, you went, they went. Again, you're going to learn it off by heart. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. Test yourself. Look, cover, right, check, write flashcards, put them face down. Test yourself, put another message on the back. Practice, practice, practice. So, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. I'm going to say it in English. You're going to say it in Spanish. I went. You went. He went. We went. Yous went. They went. Okay? So that's one irregular verb. I mean, there's probably about 30 in total, but even to get a grade 9, learning 12 of them would be enough. But for today, just concentrate on the verb to go. Id. Learn it in the present and the past, and that'll do for now. Okay, my third point on learning from last week is very, 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 very important. Okay, very important. I hope you've got that. And that is never, ever, 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 ever use Google Translate. Now, I know that some of you haven't. Some of you have maybe used it for 1 or 2 words and then highlighted them. All right, JC, thank you very much. That is really useful. So, for example, a couple of you didn't know the word madera, which means wood. Billy, that was you, wasn't it? There's a few of you didn't know it. If you wanted to look up the odd word, desfile, procession, that is okay. But 1 or 2 of you have just basically taken a whole paragraph, put it into Google Translate and sent it to me. That is really, really not on. Okay, so first of all, I'll explain. And those of you who never do it, you know it, but maybe I've got something to teach you here as well. Okay. I always say it's like sending somebody else to the gym to do the exercise for you. It's not going to make you better. What is the point of doing the Spanish? Is it to please me? Is it to please your parents? Or is it to improve your brain? And it's not just about learning Spanish. It's also about helping. It's about helping your brain get better. Okay. So why never use Google Translate? 1, the point of a lesson is that you get taught the activity and then you get to practice working with it. And as you practice, you are embedding your learning. If you just throw it into Google Translate, you are doing no learning at all. Equally, you're just coming out with a load of rubbish. Okay, so let me show you what that might look like if I can. Let's just go into Google and see what happens, shall we? So Google Translate. All right, so I'm going to say, hello, how are you? Hi, how are you coping in lockdown? I am missing school. Right, wait a minute. We're going to tell it to translate it into Spanish. And there we are. What I'm going to do now is put that back there and send it back into English and see what we get back. So what you got in Spanish, we're going to put it now into English, if it lets me. Just, oh, it's frozen a little bit. Sorry about that. No. There. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing in the running of the bulls? I am absent from school. So that might just give you an idea. I didn't know that was going to happen then. That might give you an idea about why you shouldn't be using Google Translate, because sometimes it's just nonsense, right? Nonsense. So one, don't use it. Secondly, some of you are handing in work that I would be sort of just going, well, that's A-level. You're using irregular verbs. You're using subjunctive tenses, imperfect tenses, pluperfect tenses, slang. You're using things that you won't be taught for the next 2 years, right? I can see really clearly that this is not your work. So therefore, you are not learning. Have you got the message? Have you got the message? Do not use Google Translate unless you do it for one word, you highlight that word and you say, I use Google Translate for that one single word, and that's fine because it'll help you get the gist of the whole thing, okay? So at this point in today's lesson, for those of you, I mean, some of you've got this. I mean, some of you really did a brilliant piece of work on a special day. But why? Why make your life complicated? One, do as you're asked, follow the instructions, because I know what I'm talking about, and this is going to really help you get better at Spanish. And two, keep it simple. So let's just imagine you have to write 50 words in Spanish about a recent special occasion. So therefore, we're using the past tense. That's my thumb going backwards. Past tense, okay? So let's imagine it was yesterday. Ayer fue. I'm looking at this. Yesterday was... Oh, I can't be bothered talking about one of those things. I'm going to say my birthday, cumpleaños, feliz cumpleaños. Ayer fue mi cumpleaños, cumpleaños. Okay, right click, because my computer knows it's Spanish. This is where you can't, no it doesn't. So I'm going to tell it Spanish. Go on, I'll give you a little cheat here, but you can use this. Review, language, set proofing language. It's not cheating. It's helping you with your spelling and your accents. Spanish from Spain. Just checking your work. Okay. So there you go. Right click. Saves me finding that squiggle, that tilde. Yesterday was my birthday. I breakfasted. I woke up. It's not on the list. I'm not going to say it. So I'm going to say, what did I have for my breakfast? Desayuné. Go back a couple of lessons. We did cereal. Look at your notes or look at the last lessons. What did I do for my birthday? I got presents. Recibí regalos y tarjetas. Visité a amigos. Cenamos, did I have cod for tea? Not my birthday. Cenamos en un restaurante. We didn't have a special evening meal. It was a special evening meal. What was? Fue, that's one of the slides. Fue una cena especial. Okay, so I haven't proven that I can do this all by myself. I might choose another verb. I went. What was I went? Fui. We went. Fuimos al parque. We went to the park and we played jugar. Jugamos al football. Look, I'm putting the accents in as I go. So far, so good. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to copy that and I'm going to take it to this slide. Finish this paragraph here. What I'm going to do is copy it because it's a little bit short. It's not the right amount of words. Okay, copy it and paste it here. How do I make it a bit better? That's the point. I haven't used the verb celebrar. Ayer fue mi cumpleaños. So yesterday I celebrated. Celebré. Look at this. First of all, primero. I've not used some of these words from the bottom. Primero. Then. Luego. After. Después. Don't forget to take the capital letter away. I'm giving an opinion. Fue fantástico. But it wasn't unforgettable. Pero no fue inolvidable. Okay, not bad. Anything else I can do to still improve this further? Celebrate, that's right. I drank. First of all, I had cereal and I drank. Beber, ER verb. Beber, take off the ER, add I with an accent. Bebí. I did for breakfast, tea. Then I got some presents and a cake, una tarta, and cards. And why not tell me, my brother sang to me. Mi hermano, the verb to sing is there. Mi hermano, cantar. Cantar. He did something. What was the ending? So it's cantar. Take off the AR. Cantó. Cantó. Oops, what happened there? Good. Anything else I can use? I visited. I've already used that. We went to the park. We played football. We went to a restaurant. It's a special meal. It was great, but it wasn't unforgettable. So I've used those. I've used opinions, and I've used most of those verbs. Maybe add a little bit more. What I had for lunch. Or maybe I could say I picnicked in the park. Where I picnicked. Oh, that's moving up to a grade 6 or a 7. So we played football. We went to the park. Donde? Where I picnicked. Merendar. Take off the AR. Merendé. Y jugamos al football. And there you have it. Okay, a simple paragraph put together by using the vocab from the lesson, the grammar from the lesson, and a few tips from your teacher. And there you have a perfect paragraph without it being too difficult. You don't have to use Google Translate because that's not making it easy. That's just not doing anything, okay? This is making your life easy, all right? So from there, where do we go today? You've got 2 links to understanding conversation in a cafe and having a conversation in a cafe. It's really easy. It's year 8 stuff, but I want you to couple it. So watch those 2. You can have them on the background while you're doing something else as well. Listen in, repeat what they're saying, but do put a little bit more work into learning this vocabulary. And because this is a short lesson, I was going to have a Zoom tomorrow, but it's late on a Monday night and it's too late to set up your Zoom for tomorrow. So we'll set it up for Friday at 11 o'clock. I will put it all on ePraise. If you can make it, great. If you can't, I'm sorry. We'll try and have another one another time that suit you. Just send me a message on ePraise instead. That'd be lovely. And because we'd like to hear from you and we are missing you. Okay. So, but for those of you who can make it, it'd be great if you can get on Zoom at 11 o'clock. I'll send you all the instructions on ePraise on Friday, and we'll just have a 20-minute lesson, which would be more a little recap and a little quiz on these last 2 slides that we've got here. The Oak Learning Academy, National Academy, and how to have a conversation in a restaurant. And I shall see you on Friday. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. So, from San Francisco, adios.